Okay. So this lesson is the next step to take before we go into full-blown standard multiplication with double digits. Now, to remind you, this is what we did last time when we were learning right before standard for the single digits. So even if it were something like this, like 12 times 2, and I would do the expanded version, that means I would go 2 times 2 is 4, and then I would go 2 times 10 is 20, and then I would add those up and I would get 24. Remember that?
Yeah.
I'm going to show you another example. What if I were to do 15 times 3? Remember, I always go up and then over. So, and then I write the full thing underneath. So 3 times 5 is 15. I write the whole number down there. And then this is not a 1. Sometimes I might put a little 0 here to help me remember. 3 times 10 is 30. And then I add them up. 5 plus 0 is 5. 3 plus 1 is 4. There we go. Not a problem, right? So it's the same thing, except now we're having to do twice the amount of work. And I'll show you what I mean. So let's do 12 times 15. 12 times 15. So the way I start, I am literally doing it the exact same way that I did it before. I'm just forgetting that there's a 1 right there for now. I might even cover it if I need to. But all I'm worried about right now is going up and over like I've always done. 5 times 2 is 10. I write the whole number. Then I go 5 times 1, but it's not 5 times 1. It's really 5 times 10, which is 50. All right. First part's done. I'm not done though. Now I come over to this side, and this 1 is also not a 1, it is a 10. And I go over and then up, so it's backwards. So now I go 10 times 2. 10 times 2 is 20, so I'm going to write a 20 underneath. And then 10 times 10 is 100. Now I add all of that up. Bunch of zeros, 0, 5, 7, 8, then add in my 1, 180. Now, doing it this way, this is the only day we're going to be doing it like this. But you need to know how to do it like this, because guess what? You might get a problem, hint, a hint, a hint, a hint, on your math test that looks just like this. And here's how it would look. It would be like this, 12 times 15. And then it might show you this. What 2 numbers are missing from this problem? So that means you have to figure out what goes here and then what goes here. So you have to be able to look at this and go, oh, well, they've already done the 5 times 2, which is 10. They've already done the 5 times 10, which is 50. So the next part would be 10 times 2. That's 20. That's what goes in that box. And then they've already shown me 10 times 10 is 100. Now I need to add everything up to get my answer. So if you're given answer choices, A, 25 and 175. B, 30, 190. C, 20, 180. D, 5 and 3. I don't know. You would choose C, because 20 goes in here, 180 goes in there. So this is why we need to know how to do this, because you will be asked to fill in the blank. Now let me show you something else too with this 12 times 15. If I were to do the box method of 12 times 15, 12 becomes 10 and 2. 15 becomes 10 and 5. This right here, 5 times 2, that's this. 5 times 2. That 10 goes right there. 10, 10. This 5 times 10 right here, that's this 5 times 10. 50 goes here. This 10 times 2, that is this 10 times 2. 20 goes here. And then the 10 times 10, that's the 100. So I'm still getting the same partial products. I'm still getting 10, 50, 20, 100. 10, 50, 20, 100. Okay? So if they're asking me to talk about partial products and I'm freaking out over this, I try it, and if I'm having a hard time, I can box it out. And I can try it that way too, okay? Because it gives you the same partial products. So let's practice some more. How about 23 times 14? 23 times 14. So the rule is on both sides, first I go up and then over, and then I go over and up. So 4 times 3 is the first thing I do. 12. 4 times 2, but it's not a 2. 20. So what's 4 times 20? 80. 1 times 3? 30. But is it a, yeah, right, it's not a 1, right? It's a 10. 10 times 3 is 30. 10 times 20? 200. Now what do? Add them up. So, bunch of zeros and a 2. 8 plus 3 plus 1 is, carry my 1, 322. That's it. Wow. Not so bad, right? The only thing is you have to remember the orders you go in. It's like everybody has to get a turn. 4 needs to hang out with 3, 4 needs to hang out with 2, 1 needs to hang out with 3, 1 needs to hang out with 2. 1 doesn't care about 4. And 4 doesn't care about 1. Yeah. They're stuck together anyway. But you need to make sure each number gets a chance to be used with the other one. So don't try and do some of this in your head, because then we start getting some small mistakes that lead to an answer that is 1 off. Oh, I hate 1 off, still wrong. So don't try jumping ahead of the game here, okay? Let's do one more together. 41 times 25. 41 times 25. Same deal.
Did you forget to add the added 10, 8 plus 3 is 11 to the other side? Never mind.
5 times 1, 5. No problem. 5 times 40 is 200. 20 times 1 is 20. 20 times 40 is 800. Okay, now what do? Add them up. Okay, 5 and a bunch of zeros is 5. 2, 10. 1,025. That's it. Okay? Today is the only day that you will be writing them out like this. After that, it's either standard or box. But it's important for this reason right here to understand how we get these numbers. Okay? Sounds good? Okay.